Canelo post hopefully once you guys get in there?
I don't know. I just think, you know, his punch power and his physical size is the only thing that I really.
The man must have seen something when he called Canelo out, because you got to remember, Bud called Canelo out. So he must see something in order for him to get that win, and he know he can win. So like I said before,
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have never gotten along, but now it's even worse. Their tension has been growing for months, and today they had a heat. They didn't fight, at least not yet. But the way they had to be separated says a lot about where this is headed. The incident has experts talking.
I have Canelo. Canelo's more comfortable at 168. He's going to fight again for undisputed for a second time at 168. So this is nothing uncomfortable to him. Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and of course we're starting to see that he can probably make 168 naturally. But again, it's a different division, 147, 168.
Canelo has never taken Crawford seriously. He doesn't see him as a real threat and hasn't been afraid to say it. He's dismissed the idea that Crawford belongs.
Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so...
But Crawford doesn't see it that way. He's been waiting for this chance and has studied Canelo for years, noticing his slower reflexes and moments of exhaustion in recent fights. Crawford believes Canelo isn't the same fighter he used to be and has been avoiding real challenges, hand-picking opponents to make himself look good while dodging fighters like David Benavidez. He's confident that he won't just beat Canelo, he'll embarrass him. And after today, the rivalry has only gotten worse. Still.
And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Crawford's move up to 154 lbs was already a big deal in boxing, but now, with a potential fight against Canelo Alvarez, things have gotten even more intense. After becoming a 4-weight world champion by narrowly defeating Israel Madrimov last August, he proved he could compete with bigger fighters. But now, he's aiming even higher, jumping to 168 lbs to face the undisputed king of the division. At T37, time isn't on his side, and he knows this could be one of his last fights. That's why he's making it clear. If he's going out, it'll be on his own terms.
The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing.
A lot.
Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division.
Everyone thinks this is a bad idea. Shakur Stevenson, who has sparred countless rounds with Crawford, has been one of his strongest supporters. He's been saying for years, even before Crawford considered it, that Bud's style is a nightmare for Canelo. I always thought his style could beat Canelo, Stevenson said, doubling down on his belief that Crawford has the skills to make this a one-sided fight. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but he can make it easy. It's a bold opinion, but Stevenson isn't just hyping up his friend. He knows what Crawford can do in the ring. He's seen his speed, his effortless stance switching, and most importantly,
he punched at 140, but you're moving up in weight, so for me to do it in 3 different weight classes at 27 years old, it just makes it so much better. And I understand the sport of boxing. I understand that at 135 the guys is bigger, stronger, tougher, so they're not able to walk through me. Honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford. So,
It's a bold opinion, but Stevenson isn't just hyping up his friend. He knows what Crawford can do in the ring. He's seen his speed, his effortless stance switching, and most importantly, his underrated power. I don't think Canelo is just walking through his punches. Terence can punch, and that applies to any weight class, Stevenson said. That last point is crucial. Crawford may be the smaller fighter, but he's not coming in as a light-hitting technician just trying to survive.
If they do fight Cole, how do you see it going?
If they do fight, I told you I think that Bud outboxes him. I think he's going to use his leg, keep Canelo on the outside and make it an easy night.
Got you.
Dimitri Bivol, the man who already gave Canelo a loss at 175, believes Crawford has a clear path to do the same. But it's not just about skill. It's about how he handles the jump in weight. Speaking from experience, Bivol didn't sugarcoat it. He needs to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's a big difference. That's the biggest question in this fight. Will Crawford's sharpness, timing, and punching power...
About size of Crawford, is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah? And he has very good skill. He able to win this fight. But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able. He has good
possible, but he warns that physical adaptation alone won't be enough. It's not just about getting used to the power. It's also about being mentally ready, he said. That's one thing Crawford has never struggled with. He's fought with a chip on his shoulder his entire career, proving people wrong at every turn. But this time, the doubts are louder than ever. The boxing world isn't just questioning his skill. They're questioning whether he even belongs in this fight. If that doesn't fuel him...
Would you favor Canelo or Crawford in the fight? Like, how do you think the fight goes?
It goes Crawford will try to keep on the distance Canelo, but also...
David Benavidez, the man many believe should be fighting Canelo instead, is watching this matchup closely. He sees it as one of the most exciting fights in years. This will be a fight for the ages, Benavidez said. Canelo has experience, skill, and the ability to adapt. Crawford has versatility and technique. It has the potential to be an all-time classic. Interview. Benavidez understands the contrast in styles better than most. He knows Canelo is a master of controlled aggression, picking his shots and...
Had in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's a money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are they gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it shouldn't be. It should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, you know, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, you know, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But, you know, I see that weight class, you know, I want to become champion.
Benavidez understands the contrast in styles better than most. He knows Canelo is a master of controlled aggression, picking his shots and breaking opponents down. But he also respects Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, creating angles and making his opponents miss. It'll be about who can impose their style and who can adapt on the fly, he said. That's what makes this fight so unpredictable.
Could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25.
Yeah, I mean, no,
just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford he likes to pick up the weight. So I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has, with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance, and you could, you know, you definitely, you know, make the other guy uncomfortable or hurt him a couple times. So, yeah, Crawford is a really good fighter. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins.
Wow, okay. I don't know if a lot of people are picking that, but obviously...
Benavidez, the stakes are personal. He's been chasing a fight with Canelo for years, only to be told it wasn't the right fight at the right time. Now, he's watching as Crawford, an outsider to the division, gets the shot he's been waiting for. He knows that whoever wins, this fight will be the face of boxing, at least for a while. But he also knows he's not far behind. Whoever wins, whether it's Canelo or Crawford, will probably get big opportunities next.
About Canelo and Crawford, what do you think?
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen.
Kay and Barack on the Ring Champs podcast. Ryan Garcia didn't just predict a Canelo victory. He completely dismissed Crawford as a real threat. He can't beat Canelo, Garcia said, shaking his head like it was the most obvious thing in the world. He didn't look that strong against Madrimov, and Madrimov isn't even big. That last part stung. Crawford had edged out Israel Madrimov in his last fight, but Garcia saw nothing that convinced him Bud had the power to move up and compete with someone like Canelo. Size, power, experience. Garcia believes Canelo has all the advantages, and he made sure to let everyone know.
Crawford has the skill and IQ to win. Canelo is too strong, but would go for Bud just for the upset money. So my problem with that, that take is this. I hate when in a fight, when the physically weaker guy has to rely on their IQ and skill.
But then there's James Toney, a man who fought at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight, and he doesn't see size as a problem for Crawford. While Garcia focuses on size, Toney sees skill, and in his opinion, that's where the real difference lies. To him, Crawford isn't just good, he's unbeatable. Easy. Win, Toney declared when asked about the fight. Easy win. Trust me. That's not something you say lightly, especially about a fighter.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just...
That line says it all. Toney sees himself in Crawford, a slick, sharp, multi-dimensional fighter who can break down even the strongest, most dangerous punches. If he believes Crawford would win easily, it means he sees Crawford's skill set as simply too advanced for Canelo to handle. He's not worried about size. He's not worried about power. He's only looking at who has more tools in the ring, and in his mind, that's Crawford by a landslide. Then, just as the debate was already reaching its boiling point, Floyd Mayweather Jr. stepped in and made sure his voice was the loudest. And as always,
Canelo's gonna walk him down. Crawford is gonna do a lot of defense. Now, if he pulls off that win, dude, that's gonna be one of the most biggest, upsets.
Mayweather has never bought into the hype around Canelo. I'll tell the truth about Canelo. The guy was easy, a cakewalk. Easy, he said. That wasn't just confidence. That was Mayweather telling the world that Canelo, the undisputed king at 168 lbs, the man who has beaten everyone from GGG to Caleb Plant, was nothing special when they fought. You're all praising this dude, Mayweather continued. He was nothing. I was almost 40, and I cooked this dude. Easy. This wasn't just a dig at Canelo. It was Mayweather drawing a direct line from himself to Crawford. If he was able to school Canelo at nearly 40, then why wouldn't the younger?
12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Mayweather didn't stop there. he made it clear who he believes is the best fighter in the world today. As of right now, I'd put Terence Crawford as #1 pound for pound. That statement alone carried serious weight. Mayweather, the undefeated legend, the man who dominated boxing for over 2 decades, was essentially saying, Canelo's good, but Crawford is better. And if you listen to Mayweather, better beats bigger every single time. But when it comes to this fight, no one's opinion carries more weight than Sean Porter's. Unlike Garcia, Tony, or even Mayweather, Porter has actually been in the ring with Crawford.
A man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do